Hello, everybody. Welcome to the FanHammer Podcast. I am your host, Shadow, and of course, I am joined by our lovely co-host, Sam.
Hello.
I'm stealing your viewers.
I guess.
Okay. Anyway, welcome to today's podcast. I have something lovely planned. Mostly, this will probably be a shorter episode, but I don't know who's going to be editing the audio for this, but fuck it, we ball.
Oh yay! I'm gonna need to do a funny sensor noise. I'm probably gonna use the one from Metalocalypse, like the pinch harmonic.
Awesome.
The squeal.
But today, I had an inkling of an idea.
My friend, my
was
buddy
like,
Razor,
what if
he
I did
has it. I'll
this
have him
thing?
send it to me.
And I was thinking, and I was brainstorming. I'm like, we should cover a chapter. We should really cover a chapter. And then I thought some more. I'm like, I really like Night Lords. I really like Night Lords. But then I started thinking about sharks.
Okay.
Can you guess what we're doing?
We're doing the Carcharodons?
Yes.
Oh yay! I like the Carcharodons.
Are you telling me that the shark man likes Carcharodons?
Well, they're not my favorite chapter, but I enjoy them. Like they're like a solid B for me. Like they're not bad. I like them.
The solid B tier chapter,
like a high B.
There's somebody going to be in the comments.
Someone's going to be
like,
mad.
I'll kill you.
But also, I'm the guy who likes Imperial Fists in 40k and in 30k. So I don't know. Maybe
you're
I'm
just a brick.
boring. I'm a brick. Listen, I don't care what color your Space Marine armor is, dude. That's awesome.
But so I recently finished the book Red Tides, which oh yes,
That's a good book.
Probably not in my top 5 for book, but still a pretty decent book.
Oh, no, not at all. Like a good 40k book is like a solid 8, like B plus. It's like a solid B to B plus. It's perfectly fine. Is it a bit of bolter porn? Yeah, it is. Is there anything wrong with that? No, there isn't. It's perfectly fine. It doesn't need to be a Horus Heresy novel. I mean, the Salamanders books are good, and that's basically all they are.
True.
They are better than Red Tide. I will give them credit there, but they're still pretty good.
So I more or less kind of just wanted to focus on the information from that book, while we're going over the basic information of the chapter as a whole.
Ooh, okay.
Which there do be some shenanigans. The amount of times, like, okay, if you were to play a drinking game, and you took a swig every single time a Carcharodon thought or said the word void, you'd be dead within the first hour.
Oh no. Oh boy.
These guys are very much, I love the darkness. I love the void.
I love
the void. Is my home. We make
We
make the heretics fear the void. The Void Father. We serve the Void Father. Can you tell who the Void Father is?
Void Daddy.
Void Daddy.
Is he the Emperor or the Chapter Master?
He's the Emperor.
Okay.
Yeah. The Carcharodons call the Emperor the Void Father. Which, okay.
Oh yeah, they do that. I am looking at their Lexiconum page right now because the Warhammer 40k Wikia has some. It's not bad, but I find Lexiconum. I like that it more because it lists the actual sources.
Oh yeah, of course. But to start out, we should probably just go with the basic stuff. So, Carcharodons, what are they? Sharks in space.
They were originally called the Space Sharks. You dig?
That's crazy. Sharks in space?
The first mention of them that I can think of was in the Warhammer 40,000 Compendium, which is this book that collects different rules and stuff in White Dwarf, since early on rules changed all the time and you needed to buy White Dwarf and everything else. Because I'm the person who likes reading old codexes. Hi, my favorite codex is Codex Dark Angels from 3rd edition. It's not even the best Dark Angels codex, I just like it because I like 3rd edition.
You absolute nerd.
So these guys are old.
Oh, yeah, they do be kind of old. Like, you think old? These guys are old.
These are, like, Rogue Trader era. These guys have been around for a long time.
I love how somebody all the way back then was so 2013 edgy to be like, sharks in space.
Space. Yeah, it's very much so, ow, the edge, like, type of meme.
the edge, it hasn't even cut you. It is sliced through your hand.
Yeah. What? Okay.
You
I'm
cut
side
in
noting
half.
here. I looked up the Ow the Edge meme, and someone's selling this on Amazon. We are keeping this in the video. We are not distracting from this. Look at this. Someone's selling this as a bumper sticker.
Is that a Shadow the Hedgehog?
Yes, it's the Ow the Edge shadow meme. I don't know if you've seen that before,
Yes.
but I might get this. It's $5, and I want to put it on my car.
Well, now everyone knows.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, so in terms of real life, but also in lore, these guys are old.
Oh, yeah.
They are old. In terms of, like, notable appearances, there has been several, appearances all the way back in M32.
Which means they're at least... Wait, which founding? It says unknown founding. What founding?
No, that's the thing, and I was about to get to that. Like, possibly, like, second founding?
Maybe. Or third?
Either, like, second or third. But the thing with the Carcharodons is that the way they talk and also the description of their equipment is super ancient. Everything is old. And it's kind of hinted that they were probably took part in the heresy. They were active all the way back then.
Maybe that would...
Like...
I don't know. If you want my opinion on this, at least looking at the list of foundings, the third founding was initiated by Dorn. I don't think Dorn is going to condone the creation of the space sharks. He doesn't seem to be that kind. He's not that cool.
You're not that guy, pal.
But the fourth founding took place shortly after the War of the Beast, so it would make sense, considering how unorthodox these guys are, to throw something together and kind of shove them out there.
True. Like...
Also considering the fact that a lot of times these chapters are fleet-based.
Very true. The only thing is that they have very old, very, very old Imperial, like, heresy-era armor. So, pretty much, they could be literally anything from second founding to any foundings that were up to M32. Yeah.
More likely, considering the fact that the 8th founding is, we don't know anything about the 6th or the 5th. So, in my opinion, it's most likely either, like, 4th, probably the 4th, after the War of the Beast, since how bad the Imperium was hurting, they'd probably just kind of say, make a Space Marine chapter of that.
Make sharks in space!
Go there! You got Space Marines, you got Gene Seed, come on, make a lot more of that.
What's this? What
Bad Elvis impression.
What the hell is this? Gene seed? Mix it together and put it in a guy.
Yeah, speaking of mixed genes, actually I'm gonna let you talk about that since I don't know as much about the space shark.
Okay. Well, like reading Red Tithes, it's certainly a weird experience reading Red Tithes because the book severely hints over and over again that, hey, these are your brothers. These are your brothers. Like Night Lords talking to each other and stuff like, man, these guys are really similar to us.
They even look similar too. Wow.
Man, this is, huh?
But also, in other things, you see that at least in mention in the Badab War, which is one of their more infamous occurrences.
We'll get to...
Where Tyberos proceeds to completely mold and seethe all over the frickin' Lamenters.
Yeah.
That was bad.
I
don't know much about the Carcharodons, but I know that was bad.
We'll definitely get to that one. Because there's actually been several things. Well, there's been not several, but a couple of very notable appearances.
Yeah.
But it's been inferred that the Carcharodons are either... Okay. The most basic answer is that they are just Raven Guard. They're just Raven Guard. I call BS.
I think there could be an argument for them just being Raven Guard, but I think that'd be more likely in the older lore versus the newer stuff.
There certainly is an argument because apparently, like, Raven Guard, especially, like, Terran-born Raven Guard, were very murdery.
Oh, yeah. They're
were
crazy.
Very, very murdery. But the problem is they all kind of They all kind of died.
Yeah, Corvus Corax stuck him in Terminator armor and said, "Hey guys, you want to go fight a full frontal assault?" And then they all just went, "Yeah," and they died.
Well, it wasn't Corvus that really wanted to do that. It was Horus that really wanted to do that.
Oh yeah, but he saw... It's mentioned, at least in his Primarch novel, that the reason why he gave Terran-born Marines Terminator honors is because of the fact that in that culture, at least that Terran Marine culture, they're not going to turn that down. But the culture, the Moon of Deliverance, it's very different. So he literally, it straight up said that he would send them on suicide missions because he did not like how that the half of the Legion was Night Lords and half of the Legion was like normal people. Well, normal as Raven Guard can be.
The Terran Raven Guard are more Night Lords than the Terran Night Lords.
Kinda, yeah. They were a lot meaner, just quieter about it, which checks out.
They weren't as open as being super murder. But
it's like that one meme of the guy biting the metal and shooting off the champagne, and the Raven Guard's just standing there in first place.
But yeah, that's basically the basic answer. That they're a Raven Guard. The more schizophrenic answers are, of course, the what if they're Night Lords or Night Lords spliced with Raven Guard, or another thing I've seen is World Eaters spliced with either Night Lords or Raven Guard.
That might be a hard sell, because...
I mean, the Carcharodons have a bloodlust, which is kind of different.
True.
A bit of a different beast.
But they could also be subject to gene seed degradation.
Well, true, and also, look, sharks in space, they sniff blood and therefore want to kill.
And also...
Look, sharks in space...
We know that lots of Marines descended from Traitor Gene Seed, specifically one of the 4 main Chaos-derived legions, end up just magically encountering either Khornate, Nurgle, Slaaneshi, or Tzeentch factions, just at random, for no reason. And we don't really see that happen with the Carcharodons.
Well, they are kind of just off into the void.
That's true, but usually there's something that ends up happening. Either or. It could work, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. The Carcharodons are a strange bunch, but yeah. So there's some discourse on what the hell are these guys?
Yes,
because they definitely have gene mutations.
Oh, 100%.
Which is they have a lot of gene mutations, which is also strange because if they are Night Lords, that's also strange because Night Lords are kind of more pure?
Stable.
Yeah, they're more stable.
They're one of the more stable gene seeds.
Which I guess gives another point in the Raven Guard camp or Chimeric camp.
Yeah.
Because as fun as it would be, like, what if these guys were just a bunch of Night Lord Black Shields that were like, okay, we hate you, go into the void.
I've heard a theory that the original Carcharodons were the remnants left over of some maybe surviving loyalist Night Lords and some Terran Raven Guard, and were stuck together and shoved off into a chapter. And Chimeric Gene, and then through that they made Chimeric Gene Seed, and then those records were sealed. That's a theory that I've heard. I don't remember where I heard that. I just remember hearing it somewhere.
They were probably also told to kind of...
Yeah, probably just kind of... It makes sense why they're so fleet-based, and the fact that their equipment is so non-standard.
Also, they always talk about, like, ever since the days of the exile or something, and
yeah,
it's like...
True.
Bruh.
And we know that many of the Terran Marines for the Raven Guard were exiled, air quotes, because they were sent off on suicide missions, and then when they tried to rejoin the larger Legion, they just mysteriously couldn't. For some reason.
Yeah, it's kind of strange. It's almost as if the Raven Guard had a bit of an incident.
Maybe. Hey, you wanna ask Kate? You wanna ask Corvus Corax how he feels about the Alpha Legion?
A couple incidents.
A few incidents.
A few. A little bit of trolling.
I guess we make him mutants now.
Hey, Raven Guard, Horus is being a bad guy. Go get him! You're going to be supported by the Ward Bearers and the Alpha Legion and Night Lords.
And the Alpha Legion.
That didn't.
5 minutes later. It's bad.
They got severely dabbed on.
The Raven Guard definitely got the short end of the stick, which sucks because I really like the Raven Guard. They're one of my favorite chapters.
Oh, absolutely. Like, at least the Iron Hands had some guys that went, "Get we ball," and decided to go on a revenge crusade.
Oh, no, 100%. In my opinion, the Raven Guard had it the worst out of every Legion in the Heresy. Like, worse than anyone else. The Salamanders... At least the Salamanders had Vulcan around. Corvus went schizophrenic and then proceeded to have half of their frickin' Legion numbers get turned into, I don't know, SCP cryptid monsters. And then Alfarius is sitting over there laughing, or Omegon. I don't know. I don't know what to say about the Alpha Legion. I like the Alpha Legion, but it's... The Alpha Legion's lore is essentially trust me, bro, and that's it.
Bro, trust. Watch Chrono the Harlequin.
Yeah, basically, honestly, he's the only person with accurate lore on the Alpha Legion. Him and Trazen the Infinite. That's it.
Quote-unquote accurate. Well, I imagine that, like, there's, like, black library writers that are watching Chrono's videos going, What if we made it all lies?
I've literally seen like a forum post somewhere that said that black library writers sometimes watch 40k lore videos, so it would not surprise me.
Oh no, Matt! Imagine if they're watching our content. Oh no.
Hi, Aaron Dembski Bowden. I really like the first Heretic. Thank you for making me a Word Bearers fan.
Where's Decimus?
No, it's fine. I like. I'm the person who doesn't need stories resolved. That's just me. I'm like, I like the mystery, and other people are like, just give me the answer.
I'm going to kill you with hammers.
No.
I'm going to get Linky, and we're going to kill you with hammers.
Okay, anyways, we keep getting sidetracked. All right, continue.
Circling back, so, yeah, Gene Seed is, interesting, but from what we know is that the chapter is very old, and they were their oaths were basically sworn that they would be exiled. They are not a normal chapter, because, well, I don't recall any other chapter being told, leave.
Yeah. Outside of the Fifth Exemplar, who turned to chaos during the War of the Beast.
Well, because they're chaos.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, like, these guys were basically just told to leave. They're exiled.
True.
They say they were exiled. They say it constantly. Like, again, drinking game, you'll be hammered within the first 5 minutes.
Exiled into the void. We've been exiled into the void.
We've been exiled into the void. I love the void, father.
I love void, grandpa.
Void, grandpa. Void, grandpapa. Yeah, their oaths are weird. They have, like, a weird oath of silence deal where they fight in silence. They don't yell, they don't scream, they don't taunt. They just fight in silence.
They hunt silently.
Ouch, man.
Like sharks.
Ow.
Ow, the edge.
Owie. What a wonderful thing. It's almost as if they're sharks in space.
Yeah. Literally, genuinely some of the coolest stuff in 40k is what if X was X?
I'm going to have a mental breakdown when we get to their psykers.
They have psykers?
They have psykers.
Since when?
Since always, apparently.
Oh.
They have librarians.
I didn't know about that.
They have library.
Oh, they also, fun fact, I'm looking at their Lexiconum page again. Apparently they stole, ever since M41 after the Indomitus Crusade was declared, they have a homeworld now.
What?
They stole it from the Mantis Warriors.
Yeah, the Carcharodons have a bunch of weird oaths and rules, like the silence thing, which, ouch, edge, their oaths of exile, so they kind of just fuck off into the void outside the galaxy. Which, I'm sure that's very fun.
Yep.
They're fighting Tyranids always. They're just fighting Tyranids always.
Oh, yeah.
Which, it gets mentioned in Red Tides, where, like, man, we're down a lot of people. Those damn bugs.
The favorite movie is James Cameron's Aliens.
Them damn bugs. Loved playing the Space Marine 2 campaign, and, playing against the Terminids and Helldiver.
They do not like Aliens Colonial Marines. They are not a fan of Aliens Colonial Marines.
They're not a fan.
Not a fan.
But basically their oaths have them because they're exiles, they're not supposed to be in imperial space unless it's an emergency or something. So how they normally act, which I guess how they would act before the Indominus Crusade at least, is that whenever they needed to get new members and new serfs, which I'll get into the serfs in just a little bit, because there's some stuff. There's some stuff. They act like Night Lords. They act like Heretic Astartes pirates, where they will basically just go up to a planet, an Imperial planet, and be like, we're taking all your people now. And they just yoink all people who aren't Imperial officers and leave. They just kidnap people.
Sounds reasonable.
No, this is not just reasonable. They will go down to a planet, kidnap a gajillion dudes, and just leave. And, like, specifically before Imperial authorities arrive. Because Imperial authorities aren't supposed to know that they exist.
Fascinating. That is hilarious.
Well, they do know they exist, but it's kind of they robbed a bank, and they're federal agents, they robbed a bank, and then they skedaddle before the police arrive.
Uh-huh.
It's weird. It's kind of weird.
That is a little weird, yeah.
Like, hello,
That is a
Imperial
bit
planet that we are sworn to protect. Get in the boat.
Hello. We're here to steal you. I'm the nice pale man with black eyes. Can you get in the bag?
I love red tie. I really like red ties because it's pretty much, oh look, the Night Lords are here and they're super evil. Oh no! And then the Carcharodons show up and they're there for the exact same reason.
Hey, wait a minute. That's my thing. Get it back.
Because they're both trying to take tithes from the same planet.
Basically.
They're both trying to kidnap
I'm gonna have so
the
much
planet.
fun, like, photoshopping weird memes to flash on screen for this video.
The Spider-Man pointing meme.
I'm gonna have the Ow the Edge meme bouncing around the screen like that one DVD logo. I'm actually gonna do that.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm gonna put like Tybros's face over it.
Oh, there's gonna be so much Ow the Edge.
Yep.
And not only like if you're just a random civilian or like prisoner on a prison world or something, depending on what planet they decide to kind of just be like, yoink. You'll just be minding your own business. Then you get kidnapped. Sam, how do you think the space sharks treat normal people that they, quote unquote, tithe into their fleets?
Bad. Really bad.
Yeah, they're slaves.
My brother in Christ.
They're all slaves. They literally talk about, yeah, so we'll just keep them in line with whips. And I'm like, huh? Someone really wants, like, what if we had sharks in space and they acted the exact same as a traitor warband, except they're loyalists? Owie the Edge.
Ow the Edge, indeed.
They do not treat their serfs are not just, oh, you are an important serf to the chapter. We will treat you nicely and fairly. No, you're slaves.
Silent slave, get back in the bin.
Get in the bag. Get in the bag.
Yeah, basically.
You will fight Tyranids and you will like it. So, yeah, funky. And the funkiness doesn't end there, because in Red Times, it's mentioned that the Carcharodons are, they are an ancient chapter, and you know how, like, most of Astartes chapters aren't believers in the Imperial cult and whatever?
Mm-hmm.
These guys pretty much have their own Imperial cults.
Really?
Yeah, which they kind of apparently had all the way back when they were originally exiled, which is why they called the Emperor the Void Father.
That makes a lot of sense, actually. That's really cool.
They are, it's pointed out that they are strangely religious.
That is...
But not like Black Templars religious. They are their own brand of religious.
They seem more spiritual than religious. Or like...
Well, yeah, because they talk about, like, the first exiles and, like...
They talk...
And,
Here's me using the word creation myth again, because I don't know how to shut up. They seem to talk about a lot of this stuff in the same sense as, like, Greek mythology. Or, like, the story of creation in the Bible.
Like, also, they're like, very Polynesian-based, too.
Oh, yeah, I noticed that. That's really cool.
Well, yeah, they have a bunch of cool tattoos and all that. But yeah, they kind of they're weirdly, strangely religious, and it is noted that in Red Ties, the person who is the captain of the company that is there to yoink a planet, well, not yoink a planet, just yoink all the people on a planet, is recently promoted, because the original guy kind of got bugged. He kind of got, whoa, tyranid upon ye. And he's wearing the captain, like the previous captain's armor. And like most of the story, like most of this book, is that he's not small narrative thing for Red Ties. He's not struggling with like, oh, hey, we're kind of like kidnapping people, and that's kind of a bit because this is also my home planet where I got kidnapped from like a century ago. Funny. Man, yeah, the Carcharodons seem to target the same planet over and over again for the raids.
So that makes me ask a question. That planet's an imperial space. Why has no one done anything? They come like every time. That's like saying, hey, there's this burglar. He shows up at 12:30 noon every Tuesday. He comes and steals my Amazon packages. Mr. Policeman, can you come over? Oh, sorry. It's predictable. Just have like a guard fleet or something just sitting there and being like, hey, clown, get out.
I'll get there, but yeah, so this captain isn't dealing with that emotion. He's more or less dealing with the fact that he's struggling with living up to the spirit of his predecessor.
Oh, right, I forgot about that.
Because how his predecessor would apparently lead was that his predecessor was basically a world eater in terms of tactics and fighting.
That checks out.
Which is also the thing why I mentioned, like, Gene Seed, like, are they world eaters? Because their bloodlust, apparently as time goes on, and if they don't control their bloodlust, they're basically world eaters.
I have a question. Do we know if they get a supply of gene seed from the Imperium?
No clue.
Here's something I don't think anyone's actually mentioned. What if they're just harvesting gene seed where they can find it?
What if they're just Red Corsairs but loyalists?
Kinda.
And they're just yoinking
gene seed here and there.
Seed. It's like, oh, hello, this looks pretty not corrupted, yoink.
I mean, if you're like a more renegade, chaosy marine, I mean, think about it. They run around and they steal things. They steal gear, they steal vehicles, they steal weapons, they steal ammunition, they steal frickin' people. Okay, it would not be beyond them to yoink some gene seed from a trader marine. I don't necessarily know how well that would work, though, since it might be chaos corrupted, since I know that chaos corrupted gene seed is a thing.
Yeah, well, it is.
But...
And they don't... It's not mentioned that if they took, like, any gene seed from the dead Night Lords and Red Ties, which I don't think they did. But it could be a possibility that they could be like, man, we're kind of low on gene seed. Let's steal it. Actually, better yet... They go to the nearest loyalist chapter, they body them and take their GC and leave.
Yeah. Roll up to Ultramar, guys. There's a lot of it over there. Don't do that. Do not do that. That's a very bad idea.
They're basically just pirates in space. But yeah, like, the dude is trying to live up to the spirit of his predecessor. So they are kinda spiritual in that way. And they like talk about things like basically different combat, like putting your initiates or like scouts and other marines in combat is called blooding for Carcharodons. It's really important to them. It's very important to them. Because a way to prove yourself is you survive a blooding.
Oh yeah.
You survive viciously mauling somebody. Which yeah, the Carcharodons are also a chapter that don't have really any qualms with eating people.
Mm.
They seem to not have much issue with, I'm going to eat this person now, so I can learn their tactics and stuff.
Ah, true. Okay. That's neat.
Time to pull up the owie,
owie, ow,
owie. Another paper cut.
Ooh, the edge. Ow.
The more I got into Red Ties, the more I was like, bruh.
It recently got an audiobook, I believe. I read the actual physical book. Well, I didn't read the physical book. I got like a PDF of it that I bought from like the Black Library.
Yeah, I had the audiobook of Red Tides, so I had somebody read it to me like the wee little lad I am.
Yeah, most of the time when I read 40K books, I find audiobooks because that way I can do other things because I'm busy and I don't really have time to like physically sit down, so I need to like find other stuff to do.
But so again, circling back to one thing that you had mentioned. Yeah, so them hitting the same world over and over and over again. You think that Imperial authorities would be like, huh,
got him.
That's weird. But apparently Carcharodons, they're a bit intentional about the worlds that they hit. To kind of just either yoink equipment or yoink people. Because they're going for the outer fringe colonies. So basically the same kind of colonies or prison planets that traitor warbands would hit for their own tides. Which is why you had the entire moment of Night Lords and Carcharodons landing on the same exact planet going Pikachu face and pointing at each other. So, which in Red Tides, they basically have this entire, like, inquisitorial investigation force of, like, man, we lost contact with this planet again, and in this history, like, this has happened before. Because this one planet was first, like, colonized, then all the colonists disappeared, like, a century ago. Huh, that's weird. And then, like, it got turned into a prison planet, and then all the prisoners are now, like, they lost contact and all the prisoners are now gone.
Interesting. Alright. Well, considering the fact how bad Imperial record keeping actually is, it would not surprise me if, say, I don't know, they would decide to just go, well, you know, we haven't heard from this planet in a few hundred years, they're probably fine, they're still sending in their tides, who cares?
Carcharodons on their way to put you in the bag. Which,
yeah.
literally the only people they are not allowed to take are Imperial officers. So, like, Arbites, like, Astra Militarum, and, like, other people who are already, like, enlisted.
Yeah.
Like, a part of Imperial forces already. That's the only people that they do not take. Unless, I guess, unless they want to really go, which, no thanks. I'm good. I'd rather not be a slave and live out my days in the void of the deep dark void of space.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And also, at least the way they seem to operate, because it's been a while since I've read Tithe. Red. Since I have read the novel Red Tithe, it's been an extended amount of time since I've read the book.
A minor amount of time.
About like 6 or 7 months. At least from what I remember, at least culture-wise and everything else, they had to be very particular about where they hit, because they were very much so nervous about getting larger attention from an actual, more readily equipped, stronger Space Marine chapter. Not that they can't or they won't fight on even footing. They will and they can, but they don't have the resources to fight that conflict if it goes on for longer than it needs to. That's why their involvement in the Bad Ab War is so significant, because they had backup. They had the ability to choose their engagements, and when they did, they were devastating, but notice that all of them were incredibly short.
Yeah.
And incredibly precise, which kind of adds to the whole Night Lords thing. When you see them do assaults like that, especially in terms of warbands, in particular in First Claw or the Night Lords books, that's exactly how they operate.
And I will note again that the Carcharodons have, like, weird oaths where it's like, alright, so we bag a bunch of guys, and then we book it before the Imperium sends anybody to take a look.
Yeah. We have 3 days. Get in, get out.
The cops are here! Book it!
Gotta find the train, CJ!
But, yeah, so quickly before we continue babbling on, we should probably note that the probably 2 major engagements, which one has no lore, and the other one has all the lore, which, we'll just get those out of the way. So, Uncle Sam, what do you think when I say the Pentarchy of Blood?
The Pentarchy of Blood. Is that... Hold on a second, I'm gonna Google this. I forget what it is. Wait, was that the 5 chapters of... Is that Something related to the Blood Angels?
Not just the Blood Angels, but you had... Basically what happens was that...
Oh, wait, I know exactly what happened. It was,
War of the False Primarch.
Yeah.
Which
right.
we get one paragraph about.
In Imperial
and
Armor.
It was like...
Volume 2
where we're like, what?
What do you mean there's a War of the False
Huh?
Primarch? Yeah.
Who?
That seems a little bit,
The High Lords were like, okay, get me 5 chapters of Space Marines, which are...
best at killing everything and have no discretion whatsoever.
Yeah, that just kill everything. That just kill everything. Leave nothing. So you get the Charl Guard, the Death Eagles, the Flesh...
The Flesh Eaters.
Flesh Eaters?
I thought it was the Flesh Terrors for a second.
Flesh Terrors?
No.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the Flesh Terrors. And Red Talons.
The Flesh Eaters were created from the gene seed of the Blood Angels. Okay, and water is wet.
Yeah, so the Carcharodons were also part of that. Crazy. And we have...
This chapter was almost labeled heretic because of their cannibalistic rituals. What?
Yeah.
Well, I guess this Flesh Eaters...
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, anyway, yeah.
Alright, that checks out.
So, they were like, get me the 5 scariest dudes in prison and throw them at the problem. And we have gotten no other information. There is nothing to have. There is no context. There is nothing known. But anyway, so then the other major engagement, while we're ignoring a bunch of, like, kind of minor engagements, man... what other major engagement could the Carcharodons have been part of, Sam?
Bad War.
No way.
No.
You mean when the biggest Space Marine to possibly exist ever just waltzes out of the shadows and is like, fuck it, we ball, and just starts tearing Lamenters and Mantis Warriors apart?
Yeah. That one bit made people fans of them. Did for me. I was like, oh, giant Space Marine? Hell yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, absolutely. They really just went like, what if we just made this guy huge? This guy is huge.
Absolutely freaking massive.
This guy, like, if someone would look at this guy, it's like, is that guy a primer?
No, he's just big.
The answer's no. But is he going to tear you limb from limb still?
Always.
Yes.
Without fail.
He has custom lightning claws. Like, his armor is custom suited to him because he's so big. Which, I will highlight is likely insanely huge and important because the Carcharodons, it's talk that their armor is super ancient, so they have to scavenge for all of it.
Yeah, and the pictures that I've seen of them, just in this one thing, I'm seeing what looks like to be Mark 6 or Mark 5 armor. A little bit of Mark 7, with, like, different helmets. Like, there's some Mark 6 here, there's some Mark 4, there's, hell, even looks like Mark 2 or Mark 3.
Like, the fact that this guy has, like, a custom suit...
Which is cool.
Of, like, Terminator armor with custom lightning claws.
How many planets do you think they needed to raid to get this man his fit?
Man,
just...
they...
Like, I'm being serious right now. Like, maybe 10? 12?
I was about... What's one of those, like, bougie fashion places?
Kid went to the Gucci store and bought power armor.
Yeah, no. The dude went to the Gucci planet and just stole all their armor.
Hey, Mechanicus, can you stop making Versace Space Edition and give me power armor? What? Do it now.
No, just, like, punches down door. Make me armor.
He doesn't even have power armor at this point. He's just running around. He's so big, he has to run around and basically nothing.
He's huge.
He's absolutely massive. That actually would be kind of cool.
Yeah, so Carcharodons were heavy lifting in the Bad War, needless to say.
Yeah.
Like, literally the only chapter that I'm pretty sure that really were able to go toe-to-toe with the Carcharodons and not suffer horrendously was the Executioners.
Maybe the Minotaurs too, I think.
Well, the Minotaurs were a part of the Loyalist forces.
Oh, right.
That were also...
Forgot.
Which were also dunking on the...
Lamenters.
Lamenters, Mantis Warriors, and everyone else.
Yeah.
Oh man, imagine like your team, like you have the Mantis Warriors, you have the Lamenters, you have the Astral Claws, like all like pretty decent and great chapters, and then you look at the other team, and it's like the two really big buff men that are like the Minotaurs and the Carcharodons, and they just wallop you.
Needless to say, the Carcharodons made a nade for themselves that day.
Yeah, the execute is, I'm pretty sure, straight up, one company of Carcharodons and one company of executioners started fighting each other, and they did not stop until everyone was dead. They were all dead. They killed each other.
Oh, weren't these the guys that were beaten so bad that they were just like, hi, we'll grant you forgiveness if you stop fighting?
These guys were the guys who were fighting so hard that Loyalist forces, when the executioners were like kind of like took a side-eye glance at the Astral Claws and being like, huh, that's kind of weird. Like, the Astral Claws doing kind of sussy things, kind of a bit of cringe. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Stealing people's gene seed?
Committing tax fraud?
Well, they started the war over tax fraud, but, like, stealing other chapters' gene seed is a huge no-no. And the executioners were like, huh, so we're not fighting for you anymore. And the Loyalist forces were like, alright, we're just gonna leave them be. We're just gonna leave them alone.
Yeah, but not before absolutely beating the ever-loving shit out of them.
Well, at least one company.
Well, yeah, at least one company, yeah.
They had a one boxing match with a company of Carcharodons, and they all died. I mean, like, both companies just die. Well, so now you know what counters Carcharodons. You just need to have an equal amount of executioner.
I guess. I mean, here's the thing: it's just.
I guess
the Carcharodons are special for one main reason, and that's because their entire gimmick is rule of cool. That's it. That's the only reason why. You don't really see that with modern Space Marine chapters.
Well, yeah, you don't get the the edge much anymore.
You don't get it. No, you don't. I mean, you don't. I mean, like, the same thing with, like, the Flesh Terrors, or even, like, the Lamenters. It was less like, oh, well, this could be, like, Listen, I love chapters where it's like, okay, well, these are just actual army guys in space. Like, I love the Raptors for that reason. I like the Ultramarines. I like the Dark Angels. I like that they kind of do the whole Space Marine thing, the fantastical thing, and be like, okay, well, let's actually have some tactics to it, maybe some fantastical stuff, but in general, this is the straight man. This is the guy in a buddy cop movie that's the guy who's not going to be making the jokes. And then the Carcharodons are the guy who accidentally gets his head stuck in a urinal. Like, it's a complete contrast where it's like these guys are entirely goofy, yet it works because of how ridiculous that stuff is. It entirely works.
Just enough edge to still be cool.
Yes, because at the same time, it's like, it's edgy, but, like, it gives a reason why it is, versus just being like, oh, hey, edgy, lol, we're gonna make something really edgy, which is sometimes works, sometimes it doesn't. A lot of the times, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, so, Bad War was not very fun for the Lamenters, Mantis Warriors, Astral Claws, or anyone else.
Yeah. It was a bit, it definitely wasn't fun. I will admit, it does not seem to be fun for them at all.
No, not big fun. And know what, to round it out, to round this out, I think we gotta talk about Carcharodon's librarians.
Oh boy. Okay, I don't know anything about this.
Okay, well, the Carcharodons Carcharodon's librarians are super important to their chapter, because since they're at the fringes of space, psykers are kind of rare, so they will pretty much raid an entire planet just to get one psyker initiate.
Really?
Yes.
That's insane.
And one other librarians is super old, like extremely old, like not Dante levels of old, but nearly Dante levels of old.
Oh man,
bro is old.
Bro is old. Yeah. What is he up to? What does he do?
Okay, like I'll get there in a second, but like one of the Carcharodon's gene flaws is that their skin will kind of like start to scale over, like in gray scales kind of deal. as a age,
Mm-hmm.
this guy is near covered head to toe in grayscale. This dude is old. And basically, this guy is their most important librarian. And his deal is mostly seeking out psyker initiates. So again, we have come for you. Get in the back.
Do they ever say, "We have come for you"? Is that ever a thing that happens?
No, but it would be really funny. But the Red Ties book, the Night Lords are there to take a tithe of the planet and also take the one psyker initiates. And they're like, oh, hey, we have come for you. Hey, you're going to join our legion? It's going to be really chill, really pog. And then the Carcharodons come in, beat the Night Lords away, and they're like, oh, hey, bro, you're joining our chapter now. Welcome.
Welcome. What? I didn't agree to anything. Get in the bag.
Get in the bag.
It's evil Santa. Evil Santa be like, I'm stealing your children.
You get schizophrenic evil Santa, and then just edgy evil Santa.
You get schizophrenic evil Santa. Either way, Christmas is ruined.
Christmas is very much ruined for you.
Grandma getting run over by a reindeer was the least of your problems, buddy.
But, yeah, so psykers are super important to them, and so they'll, like, sacrifice a whole lot for their psykers. But also, okay, this is where get the ouch, like, image, whatever it's gonna be, ready. Just get it ready.
Mm-hmm.
Because a Carcharodon Librarius has their own psychic attacks and skills.
Okay. Like what?
They're able to summon psychic sharks.
Are you...
To form out of the ground or whatever material to come in and eat their foes.
This is...
I'm not kidding.
What?
Spoiler warning for Red Ties.
Please tell me you're joking.
Spoiler warning. Yeah, you have 5 seconds to skip or to click off or whatever. But the main Night Lord, like the main guy that's leading the warband, he's like talking a bunch of shit to the librarian. And the librarian is like, lick my balls. And a concrete shark just comes out of the ground and eats the Night Lord.
What? What?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, listen, I don't know how I forgot this. I don't know how I forgot about this. So, you telling me that the librarian for the Carcharodon has Harry Potter Patronus wizard powers? That can make an animal just appear and eat things for no fucking reason?
Well, it doesn't make the animal appear. What he does is that basically whatever material like is from the ground or whatever forms into the shape of shark.
Oh my god!
And it eats the.
Okay, so I want to see if that works if there's a planet entirely made out of oatmeal. I want oatmeal space shark. I know that sounds stupid, but I just want to see if it's possible.
They're like, no.
That's... Okay, I understand the edge now.
No.
I understand.
Like, bro, why? No. Why did I forget about the librarians? This is why.
Yeah, I understand why I forgot now. I think I tried to forget it because of how doofy that is.
Like, goofy odds. Just imagine being the Night Lord commander, just like talking a bunch of shit, and like, and just like, no, off, and a shark just comes out of the ground and eats you.
Bruce, it's been 5 years. You still owe me. Why is there a shark?
Why is there a shark?
Yeah, that is definitely something. I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little impressed at that, but I'm also just like, why? Like, genuinely, why? I don't understand. Like, I get that it's the space shark thing, alright? That's cool. I understand why that exists, why that's there. That makes sense. Got that.
Sharks in
Cool.
space.
Why concrete sharks coming out of the ground through psychic magic? Listen, I get there is weird warp crap in Warhammer, right? It's essentially space magic. I got that. But this crosses a line because
I'm going to be real. You don't have the Flush Terrors librarian going, and fucking, like, just, like, ripping off the flesh out of the guy.
You don't have the Flesh Terrors librarian making blood monsters, like blood squid monsters that come out of the air and start eating things. No. Like, I'm not saying I don't like this. I think it's goofy and it's fun, but it's still...
Yeah, like,
that's like if during Revenge of the Sith, Anakin Skywalker used Force powers to magic up a giant, I don't know, Force construct of General Grievous to scare off Obi-Wan. Like, it's so...
Shenanigans. It do be shenanigans.
Yeah.
It
do be a bit goofy.
And know what? You know why I'm actually going to land, like, and more or less end off on? There is one person. He will know who he is, who, like, non-stop, for months on end, whenever he would join a VC with me, would go, bro, the Carcharodons are so much better than the Night Lords. They're so much better. They're so cool. They're so amazing.
No, they're not.
They do so much better than the Night Lords.
I know who you're talking about.
Shut up.
Shut up.
They like, oh man, why do the Night Lords suck? Why do they suck at being Space Marines? That is the point. That is the point of being the Night Lords. 1.
The point of the Night Lords is that they suck.
And 2, the Carcharodons are an actual organized battle chapter.
The word goofy. No, I'm not saying it's genuinely the Lisa and Bart meme of, oh, when I do this, and it's like, oh, Space Shark. Nothing beats that. Like, I understand why it's cool. It's just it takes me out a little bit. Like, I don't want it to get removed. I wouldn't change it for the world, but it's still a bit.
And like, I read Red Ties because I'm like, oh, hey, Red Ties. I should, like, read about the Carcharodons. And I specifically remembered this one guy talking about it. Just this one guy. And being like, oh, yeah, the Carcharodons bodied the Night Lords. The Night Lords didn't stand a chance. And I'm like, I read it, and I'm like, bro, the Night Lords could have won at several points, and they bodied them back. The only reason that it wasn't more bloody was that the moment that the one Night Lord commander died, like, the one guy who wanted to take his place was like, oh well, we leave now. Because he wanted to seal the war bands. That's the only reason that the Carcharodons and the Night Lords just didn't continue fighting and bleeding each other.
It's just like, I'm out.
So they've already taken a bunch of people who they can, like, turn into potential initiates or cultists or whatever. And the one guy who wanted to become warband leader is now warband leader. Because of all his people who would op him are now dead. And like, oh well, me win. Epic Night Lord victory. Epic Night Lord W fucking just leaves. After, yeah, so, anyway, so thank you everybody for listening into our wonderful podcast of shenaniganry and sharks in space. I can't wait to play the drinking game of, bro, I love the Void Father. The Void is where we come from. The Void is where we go. We go fight Bug. Void. Be me in the Void. Me when I put you in the Void. Me when I'm ending the episode here. Bye.
Bye.